Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV shows, and then I come over here and I react to them. And today I'm going to do a catch-up reaction to the newest season of Life After Lockup. Okay, so a couple people have reached out to me and asked me, they said, you stopped doing your reactions to Life After Lockup. So let me explain that first, all right? I got like 3 episodes behind, I think 2 or 3 episodes behind. And once I get away from it a little bit, then it's kind of hard for me to get back into it. But then once I start watching it, like 5 minutes of watching it, I am so back into Life After Lockup, Love After Lockup. Like when I was 3 episodes behind, and then one night I was like, I'm just going to get caught up tonight. And I started watching it, and then I was like, I got to go back because I'm trying to watch all the seasons all the way through. I've seen like season 5, season 6 of Love After Lockup, most of season 5 Life After Lockup, all of season 6 Life After Lockup so far, all of season 1, all of season 2 Life After Lockup, the second part of season 2 Love After. I'm trying to make it through all the seasons and watch them. So if you guys want me to do old reactions, I can. But once I start watching it again, then I remember why I love it so much, because it's so messy. But in all honesty, at some point, Life After Lockup gets a little bit boring. So if you guys don't know how it all goes down, there's love during lockup, which is where a couple is dating while one of them is incarcerated. Then there's Love After Lockup, which is the couple after they get out. But usually it starts with like their release. So it's like them preparing and then they get released like the first or second episode. Then Life After Lockup is the after show. Well, it's not the after show, but it's after Love After Lockup and Love During Lockup. And it's the couples like once they've come out. Although this season, Leticia and Keith, he had just gotten out of prison and went into a halfway house. So they're usually kind of like a couple that would be like on Love After Lockup, but they're on Life After Lockup this season. Anyway, what usually happens with me with Life After Lockup is I really have to force myself to finish a season of Life After Lockup. It feels like it goes on too long. The storylines that I'm really interested in, they like drag out through like some of the, if you watch the episodes regularly, like some of them, it's like every episode, it's like they're like Justine and Michael. They're in New York. They're in Las Vegas. They're shopping for wedding dresses. They're doing this. Then the other couples like Brooke and JK and Alex, it'll be like 2 days over an entire season. So it's like, and those are the ones that I'm really interested in. And so you're literally waiting like every episode. You're like, what's going on with Kiana and Deandrich? Like what's going on with Joelia? It's like every episode you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think that they know which couples are more interesting than the others. And so they drag it out. Okay. Also, about halfway through every season of Life After Lockup, about 3 couples break up. So by the end of the season, there's really only 2 or 3 couples that are still together, which is why Brittany and Marcelino were always my favorites. But I just found out recently that Brittany and Marcelino broke up. I'm devastated. I'm not a big Marcelino fan anyway, but I am a huge Brittany fan, okay? Like my friend Nikki and I, we text each other every night and we call each other Bunky. And that is all because of Brittany. I would love to meet Brittany. I think Brittany and I would be good Judies. I love Brittany. Brittany, if you're watching this, I love you. You are my favorite person ever, ever, ever on any of the Love After Lockup franchises. I love Brittany so much. But anyway, she can be my Bunky for life. Okay, so anyway, that was Pinky Swears. So I'm looking at one of my old notes. The other thing is when I got caught up, and I am completely caught up on Life After Lockup this season. When I got caught up, I was like, I'm just going to watch it and I'm not going to take notes because I didn't know if I was going to come back and do any more reactions to it. People didn't seem real interested in my reactions to Life After Lockup. So I was like, if they're interested, I'll do them. And so then people asked me, well, why aren't you doing them anymore? So I thought, well, I'll do one. But I know everything that's going on with this show because I watch it so intensely. I literally, when I'm watching it, I am like tuned in. So I have like my old notes. These are my notes actually from August 30th. So I have the couple's names. So I'm just going to go in here and kind of give an update on it. So Courtney and Will. So if you don't know, Courtney and Will, she is from, I believe, Portland, and he is from Sacramento, and he's an IT guy. They got married like the day after she got out of prison. She just wants money from him is what it is. And so he filed for divorce. He flew to Portland to meet with her. Anyway, in the last episode, they did their final interview. they showed him like having like drinks before, not them together, but he was like in the room. I guess they must rent like an Airbnb to like film the interviews or something like that, because they both show up to this interview. Will's real over it. She's finally signed the divorce papers, so they're going their separate ways. He is so pissed at her. She has just used him for money. Like, it is so interesting to me. I'm like, you agreed to be on this show. Like, I think about this stuff sometimes. I'm like, you agreed to be on this show, and it is so obvious that, like, Courtney is such a con. She is such a con. Like, she totally went after Will. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't, like, go after her just because he wanted to fuck her, because that was pretty much it, right? Because I think on the last episode, like, after their interviews, so it ended on them. That's how it ended. So next week, it'll start on them again. But he goes outside for a cigarette during their interviews, and he goes, the crazy thing is, we just fucked 2 nights ago. But they bleep him out, so you can't, I think that's what he said. And I'm like, so you just wanted to fuck her, and she just wanted your money, and that's all you guys care about. No wonder this didn't work. And then there was this whole thing about, the ring he bought her, he bought it online, but he didn't have papers for it, but he said he paid $10,000, and the woman wouldn't give her even $6 for the ring when she took it to the pawn shop. Then she shows up with this guy that she met the night before. Will says it's like the new guy she's dating. It's just, they are so cruel to each other. And, well, she's cruel to him. I really feel bad for Will in this whole situation. But I also believe that, like, Will kind of knew what he was signing up for a little bit. I mean, it kind of comes out in the last episode that Will was just, I mean, the thing is, she kind of calls his bluff a little bit. Like, she doesn't ever come out and say, maybe they'll show it in the final, I think next week might be the final episode of the week after. But I think she's going to be like, you knew what you're getting yourself into, and you basically, she thinks she's real hot. But basically, she's like, you just wanted to, like, F me and blah, 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 whatever, and I wanted money. I don't know why she doesn't just come out and say it. But anyway, they're done. Courtney and Will are divorced, and he doesn't care if he ever sees her again, and she feels the same way, and blah, 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 blah. They ask her, they're like, are you excited about this interview? And she's like, I'm excited for it to be over. So there's that. So I'm going to go down here for a second. Bianca and Daniel, they weren't even on the last episode that I watched. So this is so interesting to me on these shows. So, did I say Brooke and Daniel? Bianca and Daniel. I think they're in Texas. He had a shoplifting charge that he had to go to court for. Okay, this man is so misogynistic and so nasty to Bianca, okay? And I'm not a big fan of Bianca's, but he is so rude to her. And, like, then she goes and picks him up at this bar, and she's like, are you supposed to be drinking? Like, you're on probation. And he's like, says all this stuff to her, and his friends are all laughing. I covered that the last time. Then they drive home, and he's like, let me out. I'm getting out of the car. And then he comes home, and then they're, like, living together in this apartment because she won't leave, even though she says she's going to leave. And then they're, like, fighting with each other, and he is so nasty to her. He is so nasty to her. If I were her, I'd be like, that's going to be the last word that ever comes out of your mouth again. Like, you are not going to speak to me that way. And he is so nasty to her. And they don't say, but I kind of wonder, like, if she didn't call his probation officer. It's always interesting to me on these shows. Like, they get out of prison and literally they are, like, drinking and smoking blunts the next day. And they show them on film. Well, it's a parole violation. I've never wondered over 6, 7 seasons how they're able to do, 6 seasons, how they're able to do that. I don't understand how that's not a parole violation. Like, it shows it on camera, them violating parole. A lot of them have drug charges, so I don't understand it at all. But anyway, she brings up, they show his conditions of his parole on the show. So at the end of it, she's in Florida. This was last week's episode. She's in Florida, and she's talking to her friend. She's moved to Florida, and he's back in prison again. Well, he's in 30 days. He calls it a program, but it's like a program in jail. So he's back in jail, and they are done. Bianca and Daniel, they are done. Okay, I'm saving the best ones for last. Troy and Zariah, I don't know them from the previous season, so I'm real bored of them, in all honesty. They seem real nice to me. A lot of people are like, if you saw Zariah on the past season, you wouldn't like Zariah. I don't know. Zariah's pregnant. Troy, for 5 episodes, has been visiting his family in Buffalo, and he, like, they did this whole ceremony for his dad's ashes, and then they visited his brother's grave. It's very sad. Troy's life just makes me Troy's whole storyline is just really, really sad. And then the mother of his daughter doesn't ever want him to see the daughter because she doesn't want anything to do with his wife, Zariah. And she's like, just because he's married to her doesn't mean that I have to. So it's this constant back and forth that he doesn't really get his, I don't know. Troy's life, and his daughter's name is Troy, I think Troy Jr. Troy's life just makes me sad. And Zariah is not like really that supportive anyway. I don't know. They bore me, if you want to know the truth. They totally bore me, which brings me to Justine and Michael. I don't even need to look at their name. Why they put Justine and Michael on this season of Life After Lockup is beyond me. Justine and Michael, I watched them the season that I think that was season 5 of Love After Lockup. They are so boring. They have like 9 kids. This whole season has been about her wanting this $60,000 wedding, okay? And the reason she wants this wedding is because her kids never got to see her get married before because she married him in prison. Well, most people's kids don't get to see them get married because they get married and then they have their kids, and I know your situation's different, but that's not necessarily a reason to have a $60,000 wedding that your husband doesn't even know how to pay for. And now he's out on the streets of New York City wanting to sell drugs. This is how they ended this episode this week. Because he knows that if he sells drugs, he might risk going back to prison. And she's like, well, I don't want you to do that. But I don't know if you watched it. I was like, she's not getting real upset about the fact that he might go sell some drugs and be able to buy this wedding for you. Then she's got this real bad relationship with her mom. She doesn't get along with her mom at all. And she invites her mom to New York City for them to look at venues to get married in. And her mom constantly talks about this $100,000 wedding that her mom had. It's always the price point of the wedding, not like what they want the wedding to look like. It's Justine's $60,000 wedding. Her mom's $100,000 wedding. And I was like, I was watching it and I go, oh, I get it now. This has nothing to do with her wanting to get married again. This is about her showing her mom, who she has a shitty relationship with, that she can have just as nice as a wedding that her mom did. That's what her mom had a $100,000 wedding, so she's going to have a $60,000 wedding. So this is nothing about you wanting to have a wedding. She already had a wedding with her ex, and she wore a black dress. She had a full wedding. This is her second full wedding, and it has to be $60,000. She keeps on talking about it. I am so over it. It has been like 8 episodes of this $60,000 wedding. I'll tell you what right now, Michael is so over talking about the wedding. I am so over listening to the wedding. I am so over hearing about the wedding. And I looked it up, and they just got married in September. They had their wedding in September. So she got her a $60,000 wedding, but I am so over them. Then there's Keith and Leticia. They're okay. I don't know them from a previous season either. I didn't watch their season yet. They're kind of boring to me. I like her. The past couple weeks, the storyline has been that she had a previous kind of like, so he got out of prison, went to Halfway House, and she got upset because some Stephanie girl was calling him, but they don't talk about that anymore. But then she had a court case because of something that, I don't know, some work thing. She was scamming some people or something, allegedly. But then she was like talking to him about like, well, are you going to stand by my side? You're not going to see any other women if I have to go, because she was looking at going to prison. And he was like, well, I don't know. Like, I already did my time with you. And she got pissed. I would be pissed too. Because she stood by his side all the whole time that he was in prison. And he was like, well, while you were standing by me in prison, I was in prison. So I've done my time. And she is like, well, who's going to take care of our kids and stuff? And he's like, well, I don't know, you know? And she's pissed. So she ends up taking a plea bargain. The producers ask her, like, what were the conditions of the plea bargain? And she's like, I can't say until it's, like, all resolved. So we don't know. They bore me, too. Leticia and Keith, don't bring them back. They're boring. They're boring. There's a lot of boring couples this season. I'm over it. So is that everybody other than my favorite 2? Okay, so my favorite 2 couples of this season, well, I did like Courtney and Will, but they just didn't make it. My favorite 2 couples of the season are Deandrich and his 2 ladies, Kiana and Joelia, okay? That's my second to favorite couple of the season. It is so messy, and I absolutely love these 3, okay? So it's Deandrich, who just got out of prison. He's living with his high school girlfriend, whose name, they've been together forever, Kiana, okay? But in between them being together, he has had 2 kids with Joelia, okay? And this season, what happened was somebody flattened Joelia's car, or flattened her tire, and then wrote in like soap on the back window, like dirty whore or something like that. And she is convinced that it was Kiana, all right? And this season versus last season, because they were on Love After Lockup last season, you really kind of get to know a little bit more about Joelia. I'll be honest with you. So, like, we're down to the wire. Like, Joelia could sign this paper that said she's not going to prosecute. Kiana's going to an attorney. Kiana is like afraid that if she gets, it'll be a misdemeanor, but that will change the condition of Deandrich's parole, so he will no longer be able to live with her. There's a possibility she could go to jail for it, but there's literally no evidence that Kiana did it. I don't even know how it got this far legally. I mean, it's just like Joelia called up the police and said, yeah, I know that she did it. How do you know? Just because she doesn't like me. It's like, I didn't realize it was that easy to get charges pressed against somebody. But anyway, but this season, we get to know Joelia a little bit more and kind of her background story. In all honesty, I have no clue who flattened her tires, okay? I don't know if she did it herself. Deandrich didn't have anything to do with it, I don't think. If we find out that Deandrich had something to do with it, I'll be surprised. Because he is trying his best to stay out of prison and try to keep these women away from each other. So Joelia said she might drop the charges if Kiana was willing to talk to her. And then she doesn't want anything to do with Deandrich or Kiana anymore. So it kind of makes me think, I've kind of had this gut feeling from the beginning that maybe Kiana did do it. The thing about it is, when you watch it, is that Joelia just does not present really well. Like 3 of the episodes, she's got this blonde wig on that's just, it's a bad wig. And like her hair's coming, my friend and I were talking, her hair's coming out of the bottom of it. She just doesn't present well. And she doesn't, like, the way that she presents her case is not, she doesn't do a good job presenting that as well either. And it's just all very much like, Kiana hates me, fuck Kiana, she can fuck off, blah, blah. Kiana presents a lot differently. And so it's really not fair to Joelia, because if you're just looking at it for how they present, it would be Kiana that you would probably believe. And it's not fair, because I am starting to think that Joelia didn't have anything to do with it. When they presented at the beginning, they showed Joelia with like a box cutter to make it look like, implied that she was the one that cut her own tires. The only thing about it is that now Joelia is like, Deandrich paid her money because she said, if you pay me for the tires that were $600 to get fixed, then I'll drop the cases against Kiana. Then he gave her the money, and then she said, no, I'm not going to do it. Now she's saying that some of her beauty supplies, because she's a beautician or a hairstylist or something, cosmetology school or something, I don't know what she does. Anyway, in her car were damaged. Well, she never said that before. So now Kiana is like, oh, she just wants money. This is all about money. It's a power play is what it is. Joelia wants power because Deandrich has kept on coming over and fucking her, even though he denies it. And Kiana is too stupid to even see that he's fucking her. He's playing these 2 women against each other. This is one of the things about life after lockup, love after lockup, I have never understood, is that these 2 women would fight each other to the death and not see that the man is the one pitting them against each other. I just don't understand it at all. But in all honesty, this season has made me really kind of feel bad for Joelia. It's made me feel bad for Kiana too, but it's like, get rid of the man. Go on with your life. There are other men out there. Like, I don't understand it. So anyway, that is a mess, but it's kept me watching. And then the best part of the show has been JK, Brooke, and Alex. Okay, so JK's ex-girlfriend is Alex. And then he started dating Brooke when he and Alex broke up while he was in prison. And Brooke stood by his side, okay? Now they're out, and anytime he talks to Alex, Brooke gets pissed off. So the recent storyline is, well, first it was that Alex was pregnant, and then she had a miscarriage, okay? Well, Brooke about lost her fucking mind over that. At the same time that Brooke thought she was pregnant, she took 16 pregnancy tests in the bathroom, went to the doctor, found out she wasn't pregnant, and then she had this breakdown because all she wanted was to have a baby. I don't know why anybody wants JK, okay? I do not understand this. Can somebody please explain to me the sex appeal, the integrity, the character, why 2 women are fighting? It reminds me of Jerry Springer back in the day. I do not understand why 2 women are fighting over JK. I do not understand it, okay? And so then she has this mental breakdown because she is like so upset that she's not pregnant with JK's baby. And then her having this breakdown makes JK realize how much he loves Brooke because she really wanted to have this baby with him. Because I don't know, some woman wanting to have a baby with him just means the world to him, okay? Then he goes over to Alex's and you find out that Alex is pregnant, and it's a 50% chance that it could be JK's, okay? So then you got, you just cannot write this shit, okay? JK lives with his mom, his stepdad, and his mom's friend, Kathy, that's on like a CPAP machine in her room, and they all just sit around and just eat and play cards and smoke cigarettes and just drink soda all day long, okay? And then you got Brooke at like 2 o'clock in the morning while they're all sitting around there playing cards, and JK's about to take a shower, and she's like, Is JK in there? Is JK in there? And I'm like living for it, okay? And the dad's going to the door and he's like, JK ain't here. And she's like, his truck's parked right out there. And then she's going to the bathroom door and she's like, hello, are you in there? Why? This is the only time you ever locked the door taking a shower. Let me in there. And then he like takes her outside and the stepdad's like, no, you got to get out of my house. You got to leave and all this kind of stuff. And then she's like, where have you been today? Where have you been today? Because he took the tracker off the phone when she had him tracked. And then he's like, I had to go talk to Alex. And she's like, why'd you have to go talk to Alex? Why'd you have to go talk to that girl? And so then the police pull up because they're being so loud, right? That's why. It's going to be like, you know, but the police pull up. And then he don't get to tell her that Alex is pregnant and might be his baby. I've looked everywhere online to find out because Alex would have had her baby by now. I have looked everywhere online to see if that baby is JK's and I can't find out. So if you know, please put it in the comment section below. But that's how the episode ended, which means that next week's episode, we'll have to wait the whole episode to find out why the police showed up and if it's JK's baby or not. But I want to know if it's, and this episode, I kind of liked Alex. Like I kind of felt bad for Alex. And can somebody get Brooke some glasses that fit? She's constantly pushing her glasses up on her nose. It drives me crazy. But I like Brooke. And all of them vape. Every single person. If you watch the first couple of seasons, none of them vape. None of them smoke cigarettes or vape. But like the third season going in, all of them, they start vaping like crazy. Every single one of them vapes. They always got vapes. And they're always holding their vapes in their hand and stuff like that. Anyway, this season's okay. I mean, I wish they would like, I don't care about Justine and Michael and their wedding. I think they're going to probably show the wedding. I don't care about Leticia. I guess he just calls her Tisha now. Tisha and Keith. I don't care about them. He's got nice hair though. I love his hair. But I don't care about them. And I don't care about Troy and Zariah. I feel bad for Troy. He makes me real sad. I only want to know about Deandrich, Kiana, and Joelia. I only want to know about them. And I think that we should, all be invested in JK, Brooke, and Alex. I wish they would get their own season. I love JK's mom, Kathy, so much. She is real. He's like, if Brooke shows up, tell her I'm not here. She goes, I'm not going to lie for you. I love her so much. Anyway, if you're watching, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.